Yeah, hi there. This is a follow-up to a video I just posted an hour or two ago about the GoPro Hero 4 Silver Edition. In that video I just went over some of the reasons why I chose this particular camera over the other GoPro, the black, and also over many other similar cameras. And one of the issues I mentioned, my decisions, was I wanted to have a camera that I could also use for desktop work here when I was looking at phones or software or whatever and discussing things for my YouTube channel. And I'd sort of determined that this camera was unsuitable, mainly because of a few things. The fisheye lens, which gives me straight lines. You see here, over here, you'll see this straight line is not straight, it's curved, so that's barrel distortion. That's what a fisheye does. All straight lines will be curved. See up here, the keyboard, see how that's got barrel distortion? Yeah, so that's one problem. I thought I'd get around that by using the narrow view, and that would use the center of the lens and sort of cut off the corners and give me a little bit of a telly effect. But then I decided it probably wouldn't be sufficient because the cameras are also fixed focus. They don't focus, so even though the focus is acceptable for a use as a video, as what it's intended for, sticking on your head, and it sort of keeps an acceptable level of focus between probably about a foot and infinity or so, but only when it's used as a super wide camera for typical purposes. Not normally good enough for close-ups or anything, and so I didn't think it would be any good. In any case, I gave it a really quick test and pointed it at a brochure or something, and it was pretty good. I don't think it was all that bad. The distortion was still there in the narrow angle, and it's certainly not pin sharp, but it's not that bad. And so I thought I'd do a video here and see what it looks like, see what you guys think. I'll post this after I've done it. So I'm holding the camera now in front of my face. It's about 6 inches from my face, because the sound is the other bit that matters. What does it sound like? I noticed my other webcam, it records my breathing and everything, and it just sounds awful. And so I'll either get something good, a mic with a windsock or something to keep me away from it, and I can at least plug that into the GoPro through the mic, the USB mic adapter. That'll work. But it may even sound okay like this, so we're going to see what that's like. But I'm also going to put the camera on the back of my webcam, which is here. That's what my webcam does. It sits up here on a bracket. It's somewhere there, like that. I'm looking at this on the phone, so I can see what's going on the phone screen through the GoPro app, which has about a 4-second delay, so it's quite hard to do. And so I'm just going to pop the camera on back of this, and it can just sit there like that, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what the audio's like. Obviously now it's got a wider field of view. I'll move that away, put that away. This here is the GoPro app for Windows Phone off the App Store. You can download it for free. It's pretty cool. You can control everything. I don't want to touch it now because it's recording, so I don't want to stuff it up. But you can get to loads of settings, so that's really good. I think the lag is the most irritating thing. It works through Wi-Fi, and if you had the camera sitting on your head, that would be fine. You just control it from here, but the fact that I'm seeing it in real life but also seeing it on the screen here with such a delay is quite unnerving. Makes it a bit weird to use. In any case, that works pretty well. So what we're checking is whether or not this thing will work for these purposes. Say I'm discussing something here on the phone. I'm going, oh yeah, look at this, blah blah blah. What happens if, for example, if I turn away and let's go to this store, and we'll just see what it looks like. So I want to know if we can read this, if it's clear enough. We're having trouble. Oh, aha. Of course I can't use it while it's on Wi-Fi because the camera is using Wi-Fi. I need to plug it in because it seems to be using a lot of power, which might matter when you're out in the field trying to use this. Now I'll assume that the camera didn't disconnect while I did that. I'll assume that everything was fine and that there's no delay in this recording. The other thing I want to check here is, put this away, and say I'll bring in my Surface, which I'll turn on, sign into, come on. Okay, so there's my Surface. Again, I'm trying to line it up through this device here, which is hard to see, but it looks like I could use it about there, and obviously you can see the how the edges have the barrel distortion, but it's not that bad. I expect the auto exposure is going to make it go bright and dark. So for example, if I launch, let's launch IE. Okay, this is where I was looking for prices today. Right, so now the surrounds go very dark because that's very bright. It happened quite smoothly without steps. I didn't notice any steps just then. So that's not so bad. And then say I'm going to switch back, waiting for the camera to, the phone to catch up. Yep, that switches back and looks pretty decent. Yeah, it's not bad. I think I'll let that go. I guess what we want to see is any of this readable? You know, if I open that, is this visible? Is the text legible? That's what I'm going to have a look at. It's certainly I quite like in the phone preview. I can see that the balance is quite nice. You know, the color balance and overall the exposure it's giving the screen is quite nice. There isn't a big hot spot in the middle. That's very typical with a super wide lens like this. And I notice when I'm using my other camera, I get these big hot spots, which is pain. That looks pretty good, so let's just close that. And if this is good enough, then I might use this to do my Windows 10 commentary videos that I want to do as soon as possible. Alright, enough talking. I'm going to post this now. Thanks. Catch you soon. Bye-bye. How do I turn it off? Alright, we go to this thing.